Hi, it's Shimelle, and today I think I am going to make what should be a very quick layout using Paige Evans' newest collection called Bloom Street. I'm starting with her background paper that has colorful raindrops all over it, and I wanted to use that plus an umbrella print that she did with this photo in an absolute downpour. But then I also wanted to bring Lollipops in, and she has a cut file for a lollipop. If you search Lollipop in Paige's Silhouette store, you will find it. And it comes as a big file that you could print out full size and then piece all of those different segments of the lollipop with different papers if you wanted, but I've printed it out small so that I have 9 across a 12 by 12 sheet. And I am not going to be doing every single little piece as an individual color. I'm going to do one color behind each lollipop. So I've got 9 lollipops cut out and then a bunch of squares from different patterns in the Bloom Street collection. So I've cut these to 3 3/4 inches. And here is my plan. I'm going to make a grid of these. Like that, I think. Now, I want to bring them quite close together so that you can still see the raindrops. But I've used the raindrops as the background, not the umbrellas, because the umbrellas you would need quite a lot of pattern to see what they are. And the raindrops are small. So if you can only see that much of the raindrops, those are still raindrops. Whereas that much of an umbrella is not really an umbrella. You can't really tell. You can't read the pattern. But it does mean that I have this white-based pattern on top of another white-based pattern. So in the grid, the edges are not so crisp as they are like with this one that gives me a nice contrast of the turquoise against the white. This yellow gives a great contrast against here. But the white-based pattern does not. So I'm going to add ink to the edges of all 9 boxes so that I do have that defined edge of each one. And then the idea being that on top of each one of these squares is going to be a lollipop with a contrasting color behind there. So I might use the pink and some other colors that appear throughout to fill each of those in. I'm just going to do the edges pretty gently in black soot distress ink. I don't need it to be super dark, just a little bit. And I could use a color, and I really thought about doing the edges in a light blue because I think the blue would look fabulous on the white squares. But I'm not a big fan of blue edges on the yellow because they just kind of go a bit of a murky green, and that's not what I'm going for. So I'd rather have the contrast, and I think, although it may look a little bit kind of distressed and darken it up when the photo is not on. If I add the photo actually is not a bright and airy day, of course. It's rainy, it's dark, it's quite vignetted, and there's black on his hat and everything like that, so I think the black will be the right choice. Yeah. Other choice would be to use different inks on each one. That is always an option, but I kind of liked the idea of keeping them pretty cohesive because there's going to be a lot of color and pattern going on across that single 12 by 12 page. So we don't really need to add to the complication of giving the edges all a different color. There we go, that's all done. And then to adhere them. Now, if you wanted to make it absolutely perfect, you can space your grid by using a strip of paper. So you decide how much space you want in between them, and you cut a paper. This is not what I'm going to use, but I'm just going to show you the technique. So if this was the width I wanted as my margin, I cut one of these. And I place my first one, or I can even make it that far away from the corner if that's what I want to do. And I place that there. And then I place the next one. And you can cut 2 strips so that you can keep the top margin as well. And then you just have to, physically put it up next to that paper. And if you use a removable adhesive, then when you've done that bit of the grid, you can take it up, rub off any adhesive that's there, and move it over to place the next one. However, that's if you want to be really orderly and make it all nice and precise and perfect, which I don't do very often. So instead, I'm going to eyeball it. And I kind of like it when my grid is not perfect, when everything is a little bit wonky. Just a little, not a lot, just a little. Evidence of making things by hand. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not so off that I end up with a big gap at the bottom or on one side or something like that. That's why I'm taking the time to line them up now. And then I'm just going to start gluing. And the only reason I'm starting here at the bottom corner and working up is because then I am less likely to knock something out of place as I reach across the desk. So the one closest to me gets glued first. Simple as that. I do apologize if you have not watched a video recently that explains, one, why I've not been on YouTube much, and also why there's a rattling noise in the background. But it is very cold, and that rattling noise is the current heating. So I'm sorry for the rattling noise, but it does mean that I'm not chattering from frozen temperatures. Well, near frozen. So thank you for your patience. I promise that as soon as my studio is ready, the production value will go back up. These in place. Last one. Now, I cut 9 lollipops, but obviously the photo has to go somewhere. And I want the photo over here, which I think is probably going to cover where the lollipop would be. This one's probably going to be visible. Yeah, but I don't think I really need one here, because if I put the lollipop where it is, yeah, that's going to be entirely covered up. Okay, so I don't need one there. I really need 8 lollipops. And this is going to go there. So satisfying. Okay, and then each lollipop off the mat like that. Easy, easy. I've cut 3 different patterns to fit behind the lollipops, and I just use my normal adhesive to run it on the back of the lollipop, and then stick that down. And if there's any tiny little spots, I can just take the little background bit off. So then to put all of these behind those. And to get them into an order that would work. So what if the pattern, oh, I can't do this way because then I end up with yellow in a row there. Okay, so this could work with, oh, whoops, turquoise across there, yellow on top of those, pink here. I think that works. Okay, and could fill in the sticks, but I kind of like them just open. So I'm going to leave them open. Yeah, I'm going to leave them open. And adhere everything onto these. This is going to go there, but I think it could probably do with a mat. The turquoise, it would be against the turquoise here, but I think that's a good choice. Let's see. Oh, it fits just. So I'm going to take that as a sign that it was meant to be. photo over here. Works. I wanted the yellow square to frame him there since he's got the yellow here and the yellow in the lollipop. Right, now what? I need a title, I need some journaling space, and I need a little bit of finishing embellishment, something that will go along with all of this. I've gathered up my embellishments and I'm ready to finish this off, and I'm starting with these puffy word stickers from Bloom Street. A nice little bonus is that they're on a clear background too. It's really easy to cut out each word so that you can move it around your layout and see, where you like it best. So I'm going to use it as part of my title just about here, and the clear background means that I can see the spacing, if it's going to fit and everything like that before I stick it. Now, what I don't have a great spot for on this layout is a journaling card. I could go ahead and add one here and cover up that last lollipop, and if I had been thinking about this in advance, the best thing I could have done was include a ledger line paper in my grid so that then I could just write around the lollipops without any trouble. But I didn't think of that. So what I'm going to do instead is to do the journaling right on top of this open space in the photo. I'm going to do that with a white pen, I believe. So I want to build my title first, and then I will fill the remaining space with journaling. And that gives me this area of embellishment and title and everything that's going to be right there in the middle of the page. And I love when embellishment runs from the top left to the bottom right. So that's where I'm going to go with everything else. So I'm going to start from the photo and work out, and I have 3 little word strips that I've chosen. I've got Spring Fever, Sunshine Ahead, and My Happy Place is With You. And these are also Bloom Street. It's from a pattern paper, so you get loads and loads of them, and I've just cut out 3 to use today. It's the B-side of this great big love pattern. So I'm thinking bringing this one down here, tuck it underneath the edge of the photo down here, this one here in the middle, and then the pink up here at the top, so that my embellishment's going to run along that diagonal, which makes me very happy indeed. And then I'm going to just kind of dress up this spot, not all of the lollipops, but just this one. I found this because I wanted something with a little sunshine, like kind of an idea of sunshine after the rain, which there was literal sunshine after the rain. And this is a 2x2 square from these little paper pads, little 2x2 paper pads that come in Paige's collections, and you get 2, one that's all patterns and one that's phrases. But I don't have the ones for Bloom Street yet. There's a set, but I don't have that yet. I have these from the last collection, which is Truly Grateful, and although some of them would be maybe not let's see if I can find an example. I mean, they're not a completely different color scheme. There's still a lot that would work, but say, okay, that one is a bit more autumnal than what I've got. Yeah, but I thought this one, it's on a white background. It has the colors that I've already used, really. It's really only, this purple is a little bit different than that purple, but that's really getting nitpicky, and I think that purple might even be in this one. So I'm going to put this up here. I might trim it down a little bit smaller, and I'm going to keep in mind that it's going to go in this kind of little area. This is not what it's going to look like. It's just going to go in that spot somewhere. And I've brought out some of the Bloom Street washi as well. Got some butterflies, and then these letter stickers are actually not from Bloom Street. They are from my collection Never Grow Up, and I kind of wanted to try just one little word of mixing these with that. There are also some really beautiful thickers in Bloom Street, these floral ones, but I'm not going to use this today, but I'm definitely going to use them on something soon because they're gorgeous. But I'm going to try mixing these 2. I just want the word boy in these letters. Maybe the more greeny one in the middle. These are foam with the pattern on the top, by the way. Not chipboard. It's really quite, even with just 3 letters, it's quite a big, heavy alphabet once it's on top of the photo. I'm going to try bouncing it around a little bit more. See if that bringing it a little closer together can lighten it up. going to have white writing here, so that's okay. And then the yellow above it. There we go. And then let's see, what if I put all of these little strips onto Pop Dots, but I do some washi first. So I feel like there's not a lot of pink in this space here, so I'm going to add the pink. And then this over the top. That. And this end, actually I think I'll use the same washi in all three spots. Wasn't sure if I was going to do it that way, but now that I see it, I think I will. You're only going to see a little bit of the washi there. Oh, I need to make sure it doesn't run off the edge of the page there. Close, but not all the way off. There we go. And then up here, how am I going to work this? Well, let's have, why don't I, what I'm thinking is, if I cut this down first, I'm going to bring this into kind of an almost square. I kind of want it to be imperfect, so that's why I'm just snipping it with the scissors. Oh, I don't need quite that much tape because this is smaller. Overlap the sunshine and the lollipop. Oh, there's a song in there somewhere. And then add the pink phrase box. Maybe across the middle here. Yep. And then, do I want this one too, or do I want to leave the shine off? Leave the shine off. But literally, oh, here. What if I overlap it that way? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cut this just below there. Tuck it under here. Still legible there, yeah. Now the other embellishment I had here are these butterflies. So what if I take the bluey purple color combination, which is here, bring that up to this corner. So I've got a butterfly sitting on the edge of my lollipop. And then let's see which colors. This blue one down here, up here. Okay. I'm going to tuck it underneath the letter actually. Right there. And one down here, and I don't have much pink down here, so I'm going to bring the more pink of them all down here. Trying to figure out where they can fit without just covering up a word, still being connected. Oh, it's a tricky one. I think it has to come kind of up here. Or right down the bottom corner. Maybe here's a good spot. Okay. White journaling here, and it needs a little sprinkle of something along here, like enamel dots. Now there are some beautiful enamel dots in the Bloom Street collection, which include these gorgeous white iridescent glitter circles. But I'm worried that they'll get lost a little bit on the white background for this particular layout, and I wanted to use these holographic dots instead. So these are from Sparkle City collection, way back, and they are holographic foil on pink foam, which makes me very happy. And I'm just going to scatter these along the diagonal, kind of making a little triangle roughly around each area of embellishment. It's the sort of thing I do. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down here, 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Just going to tuck it underneath this butterfly wing here. There we go. And that is everything finished. So thanks for watching that layout that once the cutting was done, it wasn't too hard at all. And I hope that gives you an idea of something you could do with one of those big cut files if you make it small, or with a collection of pattern papers that you really love and want to use a whole bunch of them together. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.